You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City, this is the Ryno Report. Always right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are going to make America great again.
My fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
Hello, I am the Ryno, and this is my report. Today, Tuesday, March 21st, 2017, and we are coming to you from the RWB Network studios here in New York, and broadcasted by CRN Digital Talk Radio. Did you guys hear the big news? Big news! The FBI has completed their investigation. They have left no stone unturned. And it didn't even take a congressional hearing. They finally found Tom Brady's Super Bowl jersey in Mexico. They found it. Thank God we can all sleep soundly at night. It disappeared from the locker room after the Super Bowl. It's valued at over $500,000. You wonder how much it actually cost to find this thing. Multiple agencies were involved. More agencies than Deflategate. More agencies than looked into Hillary Clinton's emails. They couldn't find 30,000 emails, but they found one jersey. Amazing. Truly amazing stuff. It is amazing what the government can do when they actually put their minds to something. Tom Brady's jersey. The big news. The big news. Oh, we have a lot more to get to on today's show. It astounds me that the FBI had to be involved in this. They found it in Mexico or something. A million Tom Brady jerseys. They found one. Literally a needle in a haystack. But they couldn't find 30,000 emails. Wow. All right. We have more to get to. Not just that, but that was the big news. We have the House Intel. They're grilling Comey. They grilled Rogers. And, it seemed like only one of the Republicans on that whole dais, only one of them actually cared. But they did uncover one crime that was committed by the Obama White House. We got to talk about that. Plus, we have the Senate Judiciary Committee. They're starting to talk to Judge Neil Gorsuch about his appointment to the Supreme Court. Looks like the Democrats may have given up on this one. Maybe they're waiting for the next one, I guess. And we got to talk about the wall, because the bids are out there. The RFPs, requests for proposals, are out there. There's 200 bidders, and we have a list of some of the requirements that they're looking for in a new, big, beautiful wall, and a lot of them make sense. But the question is, how can we pay for it? Maybe Mexico doesn't have to pay for it. Is it possible that China could pay for it? Under the Ryno plan, China could pay for every single dime it takes to build this wall. You don't want to miss that. You got to follow me on Twitter, as always, at Ryno, R-Y-N-O, on air. You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ryno Report. And you can email me questions, concerns, comments, whatever you got. Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. Do not go anywhere. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. Welcome back to today's show. You guys don't know this, but I just poured water in my eyes. Luckily, it's radio. I have to see for this, but I was using one of these shaker bottles because I have to have like 200 grams of protein a day. I mean, I don't have to have it, but, you know, protein's good for you. So I drink a lot of protein, and I got the shaker bottle, and I put water in it, and I went to take a drink during the break, and I poured it directly in my eye. So just in case anybody cares about my ocular health, I guess it's clean anyway. All right, big shout-outs to everyone listening on Red Nation Rising Radio, Streaming Talk Radio, KLRN Radio, Western Free Press, and, of course, CRNTalk.com. You got to check out RynoReport.com. Lots of cool stuff there. Brand new article, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. The article is called Criminal Alien Tax. If you have not read it, you must read it. Must read it. You can sign up for the newsletter there, and you'll get that article sent right to you. And there's the Listen Now button. Big happenings. We got big happenings here on the show. A Listen Now button. We're only about 10 years behind. You know, speaking of being behind, I had to update my iPhone. All right, I guess I don't do this enough. Because what seems to happen is if you ignore that update for, I don't know, let's call it 2 years, what happens is the update seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger until there's absolutely no storage left on your phone. My phone wouldn't load emails. It said there's no storage left. So I'm deleting songs. I don't want to do the update. I just don't want it. I don't like the update. Something always goes wrong with them. So finally, I update the phone. Fine. I give Steve Jobs, you win. I'll update the stupid phone. So I go through the process, and it took like 45 minutes just to verify the update. And then almost 2 hours after that, it was finally completed. And then you got to set your whole phone up again. And welcome to iPhone. What are you welcoming me for? I already had it. Just whatever it was before, do the same thing. So much for intuitive technology. 2 hours, update a phone. I like flip phones better. I'm going back to a flip phone. That's what we're going to do. Back to flip phones. Or a BlackBerry. They can still make BlackBerry? I don't even know. We can ask Hillary about that. She had, 17 BlackBerries, 45 iPads, 125 laptops, but one device, just one device. But somehow we care about perhaps Paul Manafort and his connections to Russia, even though he was not connected to the Trump campaign at the end of the election. But no, that's much bigger news, much bigger. We're going to get into that. Don't you worry about that. Now, we do have a matter at hand here. I know a lot of you out there have probably been to a Donald Trump rally. And I say a lot of you because he's had a lot of people. In Kentucky yesterday, he had 19,000 people inside that arena. There were like 10,000 outside. But just take the people inside. 19,000. He already won. He already won. The game is over. They're going for the after party. Barack Obama couldn't draw 19,000 people if he gave them all free food, free housing, free phones, and a free paycheck. Oh, and free health care. They still didn't show up that many for him. Donald Trump, he says, I'm going to be anywhere. I'm going to be in the middle of New Mexico, in the desert, preaching from on top of a cactus. He will have 30,000 people there in 20 minutes. They'll show up. So you go to these rallies, and what do you hear? You get the lock her up, which we got to talk about that too, because that has to happen. Has to happen. And I'll tell you why. You hear the chants for fake news. You hear the chants for drain the swamp. But the number one chant from the beginning has always been what? Build the wall. That has been the number one chant, the loudest chant from the very, very beginning. Almost from the very first rally he held after he announced his candidacy. And then what happens? He says, we're going to build the wall, and who's going to pay for it? And the whole place, it erupts. Mexico. Mexico. They scream, Mexico! Well, maybe Mexico doesn't have to fully fund this wall. And we've heard the Democrats and mainstream media, they're not going to pay for it. They're never going to cut a check for the wall. We know that. We know it. And Trump had to walk it back a little bit. He had to walk it back. All right. Maybe we'll use the trade deficit as leverage for the wall. And everyone goes, okay, that's fine. That makes sense. There's a $60 billion trade deficit with Mexico. We'll use that money to fund the wall. So ipso facto, they're paying for the wall. And that's sort of okay. I guess that works. It's not really them cutting a check, but do you want Mexico to cut you a check? You have to throw it on the floor to see how high it bounces if they're ever to cut you a check. But we got a different way. We got a different way here. You see, Justice Breyer, about 20 years ago, he cleared the way for countries like Iran and China to pay for our wall. Let me explain. There was a case, okay? Zadvidas versus Kent. Now, Zadvidas here, this was a guy who was in our country, criminal alien in our country. He was born in Germany. His parents were Lithuanian, somehow was able to get a passport, came to this country, and they settled here. Committed many, many crimes while here, growing up, was detained. Now, he was detained for deportation. The problem was Germany said he's not a citizen. Lithuania said he's not a citizen, we don't want him either. Even his wife's native Dominican Republic said we don't want him either. They didn't want to take our criminal alien. So, he lawyered up, because now he's sitting in jail for a long time under deportation orders. He lawyers up. They bring it to district court. District court says that he has been held too long and he must be released. You can hold someone for 90 days with deportation orders, and if it takes a little bit longer than that, not a big deal. But it can't take more than like 6 months. You got to release him. So here we go, criminal alien back on the streets. The government appeals to the Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit says you have to detain him. He's a criminal. So that happens. Now this goes up to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court finds in a majority decision delivered by Justice Breyer that his rights were violated by being detained longer than it took to deport him. So in essence, if you are a criminal and you're an alien, and you commit that crime, and you get detained, and there's deportation orders, if your country of origin does not want to take you back, you get to go free in America. You got to sit your 6 months. Sit your 6 months, doesn't matter what you did. If your home country does not want you, you get to go free. That's what Justice Breyer said. It's worth noting that the late, great Justice Scalia said that Zadvidas was not entitled to the rights of a U.S. citizen because he was not a U.S. citizen. He's not entitled to due process. That was the dissenting statement. Didn't matter. As a result of the majority decision delivered by Justice Breyer, 130,000 criminal aliens were released back onto our streets. Every town in this country probably received one of these criminal aliens. Now, with that out of the way, how does that pave the way for China, for Iran, for Ghana to pay for our wall? You gotta stick around because we're gonna outline it. It's gonna make a lot of sense. So much sense. Congress may even agree. Hang in there, guys.
Michael Horn and Fred Dreyer for you for Solar Optimum. We come and broadcast from the Solar Optimum studios, 818-745-1489. This is a big deal. You can save energy if you put solar power on your house. Am I right, Fred Dreyer?
Well, listen, if you're tired of those offensive power bills, which I know I am, I had a bill the other day for $683. That's just completely outrageous. Anything over $150, you got to get Solar Optimum.
And they now have this Tesla battery that not only is there for you in a power outage, like an earthquake or the wind blows out the power or something hits and the power line goes out or whatever, but it's there for you in the evening to trickle in more power into your house so you can save even more money. You can go and find out more information and get that Tesla battery in your home. Am I right?
Yes, you can. And all you got to do is call 818-745-1489.
Don't be left out in the cold and the dark. Save your family. Get light in there. 818-745-1489. Solar power and the Tesla backup battery. 818-745-1489.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right. For you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right. In Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. Little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy's special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back to the Ryno Report. Check out all the old episodes, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or RynoReport.com. We're getting in the Wayback Machine, and we're looking at an old case from the Supreme Court because it has a bearing today. It's Zadvidas versus Davis. I think I said versus Kent earlier. It's versus Davis. All right, this went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court found, majority decision under Justice Breyer, that holding Zadvidas for so long while awaiting deportation was unconstitutional And since his country of origin, well, he was really a man with no country. He was not a German citizen. He was not a Lithuanian. How we got a passport to come here, that's a whole separate question. And why we accepted that passport. Either way, he's a man with no country. So the Supreme Court throws their hands up in the air and says, you gotta let him go. You can't just hold him indefinitely. He's entitled to due process. So they let him go. And along with 180,000, 130,000 other criminal, illegal aliens who were being held, whose countries did not want to take them back out onto the streets of the good old US of A. Currently, right now, there are 900,000 people in this country with active deportation orders, 180,000 of which are criminal offenders awaiting deportation. There are 20 countries, over 20, perhaps the number is as high as 30 countries in this world that do not want to take back the criminal aliens from us. They don't want them going over there because they have to jail them or they have to release them into their society. They don't want it. They want us. The good old United States of America gets to keep them, even though they're foreign nationals. That could mean another 180,000 people hitting the streets in this country to commit crimes like the killing of Kate Steinle. All because Justice Breyer and 4 others believed that these illegal aliens are entitled to due process under our Constitution. Thank God someone like Scalia said, no, they're not. They're not citizens and therefore not entitled to the due process. Now, how can we use this to our advantage? It's very simple. Very simple. Any country that does not take back their criminal aliens that we have slated for deportation, they're going to have to pay a tax. And how we're going to imply that tax is through their tourists. When a tourist from one of these countries comes into this country, the minute they hit customs, $200. It's a criminal alien tax. Business Insider estimates that China alone will send us 3 million tourists in 2019. China happens to be one of the countries that will not take back the criminal aliens that we have slated for deportation. 3 million tourists at $200 a head, that's $600 million, and that equates to 30 miles of big, beautiful wall. India, another country that will not take back our criminal aliens that we wish to deport. 1 million tourists they will send us in 2019. Again, according to Business Insider. Sounds like another 10 miles of wall to me. This is how we pay for the wall. And then, just so we round it out nice, because a lot of these criminal aliens come from Mexico. A lot of them do. I know, you're not supposed to say that, but they do. We do something that has been a long time in the making. A toll. I have to pay a toll to go from Brooklyn to Manhattan. It's the same state. I got to pay a toll. Why shouldn't people coming into this country from the southern border pay a toll to get into this country? Perhaps the northern border too. Canada sends us like 20 million tourists a year. Mexico sends us like 19 million tourists, legal tourists who actually go home afterwards a year. Our wall is fully funded. And then you can take the money that you saved on that forced trade agreement with Mexico to upside that deficit, and that can go back into the budget, or it can go to the VA, or it can go to the military. Lots of ways to pay for things. And you make the other countries pay. You cannot make every single American citizen, hard worker out there pay for these things. We have paid enough. We're paying through our noses for everything, and we're seeing nothing for it. Crime is getting worse. Education's getting worse. Our veterans are not being taken care of. were the laughingstock of the world from a military standpoint. You have North Korea gearing up. You have Russia gearing up. It's time that other countries paid the price. And the price is going to be steep. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Well, the Power Rangers movie hits theaters this week, and I spoke to the cast about the upbeat tone of the film.
I think what's cool about it is, although the names may sound familiar, you are meeting our characters for the first time. The key word here is reimagination. It's new, and it is fresh, and it is funny and lighthearted, and also, I think more than ever now, has much more depth to it. There's a lot of layers to the characters as well.
To watch my full review with the Power Rangers, go to mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter at @themungle.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares. First or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
This is Larry Minetti for Herpanicin, the acne medication that really works from the inside out. If you suffer from skin problems, Herpanicin is the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out and gets rid of all kinds of acne and blemishes on your back, neck, and your face. It works so well, you can look and feel like a movie star. Herpanicin, a natural supplement created by Dr. Wayne Diamond. You take a pill, and that's it. I've been on these supplements, and they really work, folks. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror ever again. Get Herpanicin today. Call 888-467-4200. That's 888-467-4200. Herpanicin, it really works. 888-467-4200. Tell them Larry Minetti told you to call and look and feel like $1,000,000 with Herpanicin. Call 888-467-4200.
As we are all aware, restaurants and celebrity chefs come and go. But one restaurant is constant, El Cholo. Hi, this is Larry Elder. Since 1923, the original El Cholo on Western Avenue and those in La Habra, Santa Monica, downtown L.A., Anaheim Hills, and the latest Corona Del Mar have served millions of loyal fans and multiple generations. If you've dined there, you know the reason why. It's those fresh green corn tamales, Carmen's historic nachos, the margaritas, and so much more. Treat yourself and dine at a restaurant you really want to go to. El Cholo. I know I do.
Welcome back to the show. We are solving problems today. We're not just making excuses. Have you heard those shows before? Lots of shows out there. They talk about problems, all these problems. They make excuses. We got to have solutions. I'm tired of hearing about problems. Every 5 minutes is problem this, problem that. Can somebody please come up with some solutions? Some of mine might be out there, but you know what? There's still solutions. We figured this out. The wall is paid for. The citizens, the tourists who want to come here from China, Cuba, Iran, Somalia, Libya, India, Ghana, and the 23 other countries that will not take back our criminal aliens scheduled for deportation, they're tourists who come here, who want to go to Disney World, who want to go to Universal, Disneyland, perhaps they want to hang out in Manhattan. They got to pay a $200 tax, criminal alien tax, $200. They spend $4,000 or $5,000 while they're here anyway. $200. It's pretty easy per person, not per group. Because some of these tours, they send over buses of people, planes full of people. No. $200 a person. A person. And there's no, like, under 3 gets in free. The least they could pay is $200 to become part of the DACA program, right? Because you know they're going to stay here. So, we funded the wall. We're fixing the VA. We're putting money back into the taxpayer's pocket. We're making the country safer again. I mean, this. What are we? 20 minutes into the show? How complicated is this? But what does the wall look like? That's what we want to know. Now, the RFP, people have leaked requests for proposal. It was put out by Customs and Border Protection. They solicited the bid. There's like 200 contractors bidding on this. The bids are due March 29th, 8 days from today. And then a few of them are going to have to build sample walls. Yeah, they got to build samples for the Trumpster to go look at. And they're going to build them in San Diego. And they're going to say this one, this one, this one. And then there'll be a second bid process, I'm sure, to have more contractors to build whatever sample they chose. Because one contractor, if you have to be a mason guy with like a crane guy, it would be way too much for 700 miles. You're going to need several companies to have to reproduce that same exact wall and then do it. So what's it going to look like? It has to be physically imposing in height. This is according to the RFP. It's aiming for 30 feet, 30-foot high wall, but 18 would be acceptable, but nothing less. It should not be possible for someone to climb the wall unassisted, and it should include anti-climb topping features. So like Constantine wire. Now, there's a difference. Barbed wire is barbed wire. Constantine wire is the good stuff. It's the razors. That's the one you got to use. In fact, we should use like what Saudi Arabia is using. Their wall is like 700 feet tall. Maybe I'm exact. It's tall. It's very big. And they have like turrets on it. There's like landmines and turrets and all sorts of stuff. See, that would be a good anti-topping feature. If there was just a 50 caliber turret at the top of the wall, that might be a deterrent. All right. Also, the wall has to go at least 6 feet underground to prevent tunneling. I think we should change that. Let's make that 20 feet underground with landmines also. So we got to amend these things as we go. This is a government RFP, so it's going to have to be amended. It should be able to withstand a minimum of 1 hour of people attempting to breach a 1 foot wide hole in the wall using their fist, sledgehammer, or pickaxe, etc. If you can breach a 12 by 12 hole in a cement wall with your fist after punching it for an hour, number one, you either need to be in the MMA or you need to mix that concrete a little better. 1 hour of punching a wall, you're not going to get very far. All these guys in solitary, they'd be out of jail. So, and the first 12 feet of the wall should be able to withstand those efforts for up to 4 hours. So you're talking about rebar, crossed rebar, possibly hydraulic cement, something that's going to be very, very hard to get through. The north side of the wall has to be aesthetically pleasing. I like that. Again, with more anti-climb textures, I guess in case people want to climb out of this country. Well, if Hillary Clinton wins in 2020, people have been trying to climb that wall to get out of here as quickly as possible. So they got to prevent that. And it has to have doors in it. It's got to have these mechanical doors so that a vehicle could slide through it. I guess that's for our invasion of Mexico. Whatever we need the doors for. But that's it. That's the RFP. And this thing is, they're going to have these first sections of wall, I guarantee they're going to have these sections up probably starting in 6 months, if not before that. What are we, 50 days into a presidency? We have an RFP out. We have a deadline for the bids. These things would take 12 years to happen under anybody else. They would have to, this person would have to fix the RFP, that person have to put something in the RFP, have to attach some pork to it. I mean, it would be terrible. absolutely terrible. Here we are, 50-something days in. We have bids due on the 29th, and then they got to build samples in San Diego. So if you're a mason contractor out there looking for a little bit of work, maybe you want to hook up with a rigging company, and you guys can bid on this wall. It's going to be expensive, about $12 billion. About $12 billion. That'll come down. That'll come down. No problem. All right, so we got to talk about what happened with James Comey, right? This thing, and Michael Rogers. This was... Democrats love it. They love it. They said that there was no wiretapping. Donald Trump is completely nuts, right? CNN, I'm surprised they didn't have balloons and confetti, fireworks, popping the champagne bottles. Donald Trump is crazy. There was never a wiretap. I thought it was interesting that James Comey made a statement in the beginning saying, I have been authorized by the Department of Justice to confirm that the FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere with our presidential election. That includes investigating the nature of any links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government. He made a point of saying that. He had a big smirk on his face when he said it. But during this whole process, he was very quick to clam up when it came to talking about disseminating information, leaking information, as it applied to Michael Flynn, as it applied to perhaps those in the Obama administration who had access to these names that should have been redacted, names of private U.S. citizens who were leaked through how many levels of government, we don't know, that Representative Gowdy established would be a crime punishable by 10 years in prison. James Comey got awfully quiet when it came to that, didn't he? This was the real development. This was the real crime that was committed. We're going to talk more about that when we get back. Plus, we'll talk about Neil Gorsuch and how's that going. Boring. But we got to go through it. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you need to know there is money available to you that can lower your Medicare prescription costs. How much can you save? Find out now by making a free call to Health Markets. They'll search from a variety of nationally recognized plans to find you the right coverage at a price that fits your budget. And they'll do all this valuable research for you at no charge to you. And remember, you may be able to save money on your prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge. Call Health Markets right now.
800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. That's 800-990-0351.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all 50 states and D.C. Service and product availability varies by state. Agents may be compensated based on your enrollment.
All right, they found it. They found Tom Brady's jersey. That was the big news from the top of the hour. Tom Brady's jersey, lost in Mexico. I think there's a song called Lost in Mexico, isn't there? All right, so let's get back to the real news, the real hard-hitting stuff here. This hearing on Capitol Hill with Comey and Rogers, this thing was a clown show. They looked like two guilty kids, sitting in the principal's office, just sitting there. Comey couldn't wait to say that the Trump administration is under investigation for ties with Russia, even though James Clapper had said there's no evidence of such. But he couldn't wait to say it. He was awfully mum when it came to Hillary's emails, wasn't he? Wouldn't comment on it. Wouldn't comment. But this is big news. So, also, there's no information to support Donald Trump's tweets. Totally erroneous about the wiretapping and the surveillance. I think it's funny that they reference the document produced by Christopher Steele, the former MI6 agent, several times. They're interviewing him. They're talking about it. Democrats can't wait to talk about it. Yeah, the Hooker Gate, the P Gate, whatever it was. But when it comes to the GCHQ, oh no, mum's the word. They weren't involved. So British intelligence was involved with something that may be detrimental to Trump. But when it comes to British intelligence perhaps spying on the Trump campaign, now they weren't involved. All right, just so we cleared that up. Now, the real news here was that Michael Flynn's name was said. People said when they caught these wiretaps of the Russian ambassador and they figured out it was Michael Flynn on the phone talking to him. That should have been covered up. His name should have been redacted. Nobody should have known the name of the American citizen that was on the phone. But they did it anyway. They disseminated the name throughout the entire government. So everybody knew. WAPO knew. When the Washington Post knows and the New York Times knows, I guarantee you the janitor at Capitol Hill knows. They disseminated it. So Trey Gowdy, he does what Trey Gowdy does, and he's really good at it. Really good. This guy, I believe, is undefeated as an attorney. He starts questioning about who would have access to this name. Who would have been the ones who released this name. And he established that this was a crime punishable by 10 years in prison if you are found to have leaked that name. And he goes through who would know. Loretta Lynch, yeah, she might know. Ben Rhodes, who knows, maybe. Every senior official at the Obama White House probably knew it was Michael Flynn. And they would have been possibly the only ones that knew. Brennan, he might have known. Who else does he go through? James Brennan, he goes through Ben Rhodes, Loretta Lynch, Sally Yates, Susan Rice. And if these people know, don't you think maybe the president would know? I mean, it's his closest circle here. And that is the crime. But you had representatives like Sewell who want to prosecute Flynn for talking to the Russian ambassador. It's starting to become very clear that this entire administration prior to Donald Trump was hell-bent on making sure there was no success and that Trump would be embattled by scandal after scandal after scandal, paving the way for 2020. President Barack Obama never had the best interest of this country in mind from day one, and it shows on the last day. That's when it shows. When they decided to let this information leak out, and they leaked it to so many people, it's going to be so hard to find out who the actual person was that did it. But when they find it, they must prosecute them. Just like it's also time to go after Hillary Clinton. We let her weep. We let her walk around the woods. We let her have a little bout with depression and probably alcoholism for who knows how long. It's time to go at her. She had special access programs on her computer in an unsecured server. The highest level of security, they were on there. We have confirmation she had classified material. We're sending naval officers to jail for having pictures of a 35-year-old submarine. But the Secretary of State is holding secrets and then deletes emails. A clear intent to cover something up. It's time Donald Trump took the fight to them because they are not going to stop. They're not going to say, oh, well, Donald Trump went through this, so I guess that's all the bullets we have in the chamber. No, there's going to be more coming. He has to go back on offense. He has to find the person, and it doesn't matter how high it was. If it was Loretta Lynch, guess who's going to jail? Guess who's getting prosecuted? And then he has to go back after Hillary. He has to reassert his authority. He's playing defense. He had this nice rally in Kentucky. It was nice. It was rah-rah. But he didn't mention the hearings on Capitol Hill. He mentioned Neil Gorsuch. But he didn't mention the other one. You can tell. It's very easy to see when President Trump is on defense. And that is not his strong suit. People voted for Trump not only because of Obamacare, not only because that is a disaster, not only because he wanted to build a wall, because they were tired of corruption in politics. They were tired of the corruption and criminality that surrounds the previous administration. And he needs to use that. That is how he will rally his troops. Because his troops were on defense too. I don't like being on defense. The best defense is a good offense. Get out there and get this done. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Neil Gorsuch hearing, and then some funny rule in a nail salon, probably near you.
Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Hey there! Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right. Get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361. Credit cards are sure fun to use, perhaps a little addicting, and they kind of make you feel rich. Well, if you're like most Americans, you've got over 5 maxed out credit cards in your pocket right now, and you can barely make the minimum payments, right? I'd like to personally recommend a company called DebtHelper.com. DebtHelper.com is a licensed and insured nonprofit debt management agency. They can help cut your interest rates by as much as 50% and lower your monthly payments, saving you thousands of dollars in finance charges on your credit card bills. DebtHelper.com does not lend money. Debt Helper's program could have you paying off your credit card debt in full in a 3 to 5 year period. Call DebtHelper.com right now for your free confidential consultation today. 866-706-3328. 866-706-3328. 866-706-3328. Credit card management services Inc. DBA DebtHelper.com. 1325 North Farmers Avenue, number 201, West Palm Beach, Florida, 3341. Down payment of debt may be creditors to increase finance and other charges or undertake collection activity, including litigation.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their healthcare, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having healthcare insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
This is Jeff Carlisi from the Band 38 Special. Let us never forget that police lives matter.
You're listening to the Ryno Report, always right, on the RWB Network.
The Republicans want to repeal it. You know, they actually, with a straight face, say that the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation on Wall Street. They actually say that. You know, I remember when, you know, I've supported my husband through all of his races in Arkansas. And I one of my favorite political ads of all time was a radio ad, rural Arkansas, where the announcer said, wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. And then the dog was barking on the radio. And so, you know, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. You know, I think we could cut right through a lot of their their claims.
All right, guys, welcome back to this last segment of today's Tuesday edition of the Ryno Report. So, they will have you believe that Donald Trump is the most embattled president ever. Ivanka, she's going to have an office and security clearance. Oh, my God. Her husband, he can't be a part of this campaign. He's her husband. These are big issues. Donald Trump tweets too much. He uses the Twitter too much. It's crazy. All of the scandals. But what about Hillary? What about Hillary? Deleting evidence, holding state secrets on a private unsecured email server or computer server. What about Eric Holder? Let's not forget about Eric Holder. Police officers died because of guns that he gave to cartels. These are crimes. Someone gave up the name of the incoming national security advisor and let it fall through the ranks of the deep state. That is a crime. These are real crimes. Donald Trump tweeting, not a crime. Maybe you don't like his health care bill? Guess what? Also not a crime. Kellyanne Conway talking about a dress line she would buy from, not a crime. They would make you think these are huge crimes. They are nothing. The criminals left. They were the ones who left. And now, because they're not in charge anymore, we just look right past it? Those are the criminals. And those are the ones that Donald Trump has to now focus on. Take this game to offense. I'm tired of playing defense. Those are the people he has to go and get. Because that's what his constituency said they wanted. You pick them off, you put them under trial. Now you start impeaching some of these judges, or at least investigating for impeachment. Let them know that they will not be allowed to usurp the President of the United States, a district court judge, 3 co-equal branches of government, but not on that level. You can't jump levels. It's not Mario Brothers. Put them on notice. If you're going to try and usurp the president, you better be able to stand up to scrutiny for abuse of power. And then you start to drain the swamp. You end the relationships with these unions. These federal unions, got to end the relationship. You can do that. It's very easy. We talked about it last week. And then term limits. Get these term limits in place. Did you see anybody standing up for Donald Trump? on Capitol Hill yesterday? Nobody. Nobody. The Republicans are also the opposition party. There's probably 6 of them that are any good. The rest of them, opposition, worse than Democrats, because you think they are your friend, and they're not. Back to offense. All right, Neil Gorsuch, very quickly. If you like watching this stuff, I feel bad for you. It's awfully boring. These judicial hearings, confirmation hearings, it's like watching paint dry. And I tell you how it's going to work out. You're going to hear hosts for the next 2 days talk about, oh, he said this and he said that. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what he says. He can go up there, he can rattle off the Sanskrit alphabet, and Republicans are going to vote for him, and Democrats are not. Because the DNC, the Democratic National Calamity, has told their senators that if they support Neil Gorsuch, they will face a primary challenger. That's how it goes. This stuff is boring, but we have to do it. It's mildly interesting. Neil Gorsuch seems to think he's funny. I don't really think so. He's going to get confirmed. If we have to use the nuclear option, we'll go that way too. Because how much longer do some of these justices actually have? Trump will probably get 2 in his first term. So, if you watch that stuff and you want to hear them dissect all the little sentences he said, have fun. Pretty boring, like watching paint dry. He'll get confirmed, don't worry. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. A big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad, and a big thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the hard work. Please keep it up, and above all, please stay safe. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Check out all the old episodes and new articles on RynoReport.com. And until tomorrow, I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.